Akira Kurosawa, Jean Reno revered him. Martin Scorsese, Francis Coppola, and Wes Anderson are among the many filmmakers who have been inspired by him, and he's considered one of the founding father of Indian cinema. Inspired by lyricism of his one-time mentor Jean Renoir and street-level truthfulness of Italian neorealism, Ray specializes in a kind of cinematic naturalism in which on-screen action unfolds in a manner that feels at once poetic and realistic. Pather Panchali, 1955. As one of the great directorial debut of world cinema, Pather Panchali announced the arrival of new filmmaking talent. It was also credited by Western critics with putting Indian cinema on the world map. Pather Panchali is an adaptation of 1929 novel about a young boy, Apu. As a young boy growing up in rural Bengal, Apu struggles to suppress his youthful curiosity and awakening sensibility despite his family-abject poverty. Ray followed Apu's progress in further two films, Aprajito and The World of Apu. The Apu trilogy, if you don't know, is Ray's most famous achievement. There is so much literature written about Pather Panchali and Apu trilogy. I would highly recommend you to watch it for the joyous moment when Apu and his sister runs through the field to catch a glimpse of a passing train. It's beautifully shot. After Pather Panchali, Ray had become one of the famous filmmakers around the world. But Ray decided to take some time out before finishing his Apu trilogy and decided to do The Music Room. In this brilliant masterpiece film, Satyajit Ray evokes the crumbling opulence of the world of fallen aristocrat. The Music Room is based in 1920s. Biswambar Roy, a wealthy landlord and a great connoisseur of music, spends his life in pursuit of prestige. When his self-made neighbor organizes a musical fest, he struggles with his economic upheavals. Critics at that time had compared this film with The Life and the Death of Colonel Blimp, 1943, The Leopard, 1963, about a grand old man whose ways are being eclipsed by passing time. I would strongly recommend you to watch this for an extraordinary Kathak dancing sequence that enchant Roy and his assembled guests, just as it does in the audience. The Big City. There is a moment partway into The Big City when Aarti turns to her husband Subrata, saying, "If you saw me at work, you wouldn't recognize me." Her eyes are bright with pride, widened by new experiences. Finding it hard to support a large extended family on his bank clerk's salary alone, she has persuaded him to let her take a job as a saleswoman. Aarti, who has never known much outside cooking and cleaning at home, takes to the world of work like a duck to the water. She finds herself surprisingly adept at earning money and laps up her newfound independence in city, the camaraderie of her colleagues, and glowing praises from her boss. With this 1963 drama, Ray found himself railing against the woman places in home mentality, making it sassy, nuanced, and deeply moving film. I would highly recommend you to watch it for a nail-biting scene in which Aarti stands up to her male boss on behalf of her new colleague, risking more than she knows for something she believes in.
আপনি রাজি আছেন? এই নিন।
কি ওটা?
আমার রেজিগনেশন।
Ray's 1964 film Charulata is a perfect example of this more concentrated approach. A close-setted, short story-like drama set almost entirely within a house and its ground in 1980s Calcutta. While her wealthy husband Bhupati busies himself with running his own newspaper, his bored wife Charu occupies her time reading, relaxing, and spying on passers-by through her filled glasses. But the arrival of her husband's young cousin not only sends a ripple adulterous desire through her pinned butterfly existence, but also sets Charu along her own path towards artistic awakening as a writer. I would recommend you to watch this for the famous scene when Charu sings Rabindranath Tagore's song to her cousin from Garden Swing. The camera captures her joy in a thrilling pendular swoops, cutting between Charu's view of her cousin and her own face against the sky.
ढोली ढोली बोहे केवा दुबाई लोलो तुली कोलाली.
Days and Nights in the Forest. With this 1970, Ray created a tribute to Renoir's classic A Day in the Country of 1936 with the Days and Nights in the Forest, transplanting literally the scene from France to the forest of northeastern India. Like Renoir, it's a story about middle-class city folk taking a holiday to the countryside. Four male friends from Calcutta go to a road trip on rural Bihar, where they lodge at the forest guest house. They are from big city, brash, confident, carefree, and ready to lord it over more backward tribal communities living on their new doorstep. They vow not to shave, but that goes out of window when they come across a too beautiful woman staying nearby, and an elegant game of flirtation and embarrassment starts. I would recommend you to watch it for a terrific picnic scene in which the circle of friends plays a memory game, taking it turns to the name famous person, then adding more and more to the chain. It's simply done beautifully.